Welcome to Irish Illustrated at irishillustrated.com. I'm Kevin Sinclair, and I had a look at Notre Dame wide receiver recruit Jaden Greathouse out of Westlake in Texas. Now, instead of looking just through his highlights, what I did was I dug up Westlake's semifinal game versus Katy in Texas, and I looked up the state championship game versus Denton Guyer, where Notre Dame commit Peyton Bowen plays. So playing against two high quality defenses deep in the playoffs, including a state title game, to sort of get a look at what he offers on the field. And man, I was very impressed. Let's take a look. So kicking things off with the semifinal matchup versus Katy, the number 2 ranked team in Texas at the time in the division. Early in the game, I'm getting the ball out to Greathouse in the flat. Now, he's very scrappy after the catch, really good at picking up those extra yards. In this case, it was a 2nd and 5. He picked up a first down. So again, getting the ball out to him again here in the flat. And he's, creative and gritty after the catch to pick up those extra yards, like I just said. And also as a blocker, I noticed all the finer details. He does all the little things well, blocking, contested catches, catching the ball on quick routes out in the flat, on slants. And then all of that really good short and intermediate game opens up the deeper passes. So really like the well-rounded and polished nature of him. I mean, here he is in the red zone with a touchdown catch. Fantastic route runner. And again, it's all the little details, very technically sound, fundamentally sound, in a very well-coached program, which is, the best program in Texas right now in Westlake. Here he is again, getting a catch in the flat and then making some moves, very shifty and gritty after the catch on those shorter routes. And then here he is again. Those shorter routes open up the intermediate, the deep game for him. Good route runner, clutch catcher. Didn't see him drop the ball once through these two matchups that I took in. And here he is again in the red zone. I'm showing off some contested ball skills, keeping his feet in the end zone for another score. So really like what I see out of Greathouse here. And he had, very good production in the semifinal and state championship. And here he was on a slant route over the middle, another contested catch. Mr. Consistency is what he is. Now here in the state championship versus Denton Guyer, which of course is where Peyton Bowen and Ryan Yates play, right off the hop early in the game, here he was just showing off his toughness and taking down that cornerback in the running game. And then here he is again out on the perimeter. A nice contested catch here over the cornerback and manages to break free and sprint the rest of the distance. Again, very impressed when I took a closer look at him, not just his highlight reel, but throughout the context of a semifinal game and a state championship. And this is in Texas high-level football. So these are good defenses, and he was, coming up with a lot of catches and a lot of plays. And now, again, really good in the short flat there, and that's really what sets everything up for him. Consistency. Those slants, those hitches over the middle and in the flat makes a lot of plays that way. Dangerous after the catch, of course, and his quarterback putting the ball where it needs to be. So another quick catch here from Greathouse. Again, this is the state championship. And then his blocking game. It just kept on coming up. Here he is making a block upfield for his running back. And we saw that again shortly after in this, I believe it was the same series. His Greathouse making a good block on the cornerback to create some space for his running back. And then a little later in the game, here he is opening up, getting open deep down the field. Again, it's that consistency in the route running. And making all those plays in the short game, opening up the deeper part of the field as the game wears on. Greathouse, again, more impressed with him than I expected to be going into watching these matchups. And then here he is again breaking free, another touchdown. He was a key in their state championship win and in their semifinal. So that was a good look at Greathouse. Again, that was against two of the very best opponents on their schedule, including Denton Guyer, that's loaded with 3- and 4-star talent. Just really impressed with this prospect and his sort of vast skill set, from his release off the snap, to his blocking game, getting upfield and making space for his running back, to his crisp routes, making all those catches on hitches and slants and opening up that intermediate and deep game, his contested ball skills, his footwork. Really a lot to like here. You can go ahead and mark me down as a fan. I wasn't too sure what to expect, but watching 2 games from a full game film context, really impressed with Greathouse. But that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in to Irish Illustrated. I'm Kevin Sinclair.